going up against. Dallas doesn't provide that. Clippers are going to win this series.
That's more than significant. You're saying you saw enough to know the Clippers will beat Dallas. Monica McNutt, most significant game one for you?
I think I'm going to go Bucks and the Pacers. Only because we're reminded that as fun as the Indiana Pacers were, they scored 58 points in the paint. They also give up 58 points in the paint, and we're realizing you can't win in the postseason without the ability to play some defense. So I think seeing Dame Lillard basically make the Bucks the Blazers of the East, I think the Pacers are in trouble.
Justin Tinsley, most significant game one for you this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going with the Timberwolves and in particular Anthony Edwards, but I'll look at it from a broader perspective. All season long, we've been hearing this talk about face of the league. He's this and he's that. Well, guess what?
No.
This is what the conversation has been.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I get that. I understand. But look, if you look at the start of a very important part of a run for him, if he has a strong postseason and then he's a dominant player on Team USA, we could be looking at the birth of the NBA's next superstar, and it is that important.
But it is a banned phrase in the show because you people have overused it to the extent that it's cheapened and robbed of everything it ever meant. Because, hello, who were the finalists for the MVP this year? Wasn't the new face of the league, according to you, Tinsley? It was Jokic, Gilgeous-Alexander, and Doncic. You know this. Let's go around the horn and get your MVP pick and reason. Justin Tinsley.
I'm going to SGA, led the league in 30-point games, 36, 6, and 2 for the season, and he led his team to a 1 seed when they were in the play-in last year.
Courtney Cronin, MVP.
Nikola Jokic, best on-off point differential in the
Georgie
NBA.
Sedano, MVP.
Tony, incredibly difficult decision. I'm going Jokic, best player on the planet, on the defending champions, and they have a lesser team, I think.
And Monica.
4 games, 10. 4 games separated SGA and Jokic. I got to go to Jokic because SGA sat down some games I thought that would have made a difference down the stretch.
Buy ourselves next. NHL playoffs also seeing home dominance. 6 home teams winning the 6 games this weekend. Dallas and then Edmonton will try to keep that home dominance tonight. But we talk about the game ones over the weekend. And one game, just to highlight, Winnipeg's goal by the skin of the puck. Look at this, doink, 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 cross. And in a game where chaos reigned all 60 minutes, Jets 7, Avs 6. But that's just one of a near full docket from the weekend. George, most significant game one result?
Tony, to me, it's the Panthers. No disrespect to John Van Beesbrook and the Rats in 1996. You're looking at Verhaeghe, Reinhart, and Kachuk, Bobrovsky. This is the best era of Panther hockey right now.
All right.
Exercise the demons.
They are. Through one game. So Florida's win is what was most significant to George. Courtney Cronin to you.
That Jets-Avs game was awesome from start to finish. You've got a head-to-head matchup between the team that's the outright leader in goals in Colorado and the outright leader in fewest goals against in Winnipeg. And Colorado had 6 goals on 46 shots against the presumptive Vezina Trophy winner. It didn't even matter because because Winnipeg was able to outscore them in the end in the whiteout. Greatest environment that we saw from the playoff hockey
Justin
weekend.
Tinsley, most significant.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rangers over the Capitals in Game 1, and I'm going to focus on the goalie Igor Shesterkin. Like he has 10 straight home games of allowing less than 2 or less goals. That's the longest streak since Martin Brodeur in the early 2000s. And he gives them a chance every night to win a game, and this is important because the Rangers are trying to just become the 9th franchise to win the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup within the same year.
And Monica McNutt.
I'm staying at the Garden, Tony. Same game as Tins, but different reasons. It's Matt Rempe, because if you haven't heard anything from the NHL season, you've heard about this rookie that's in all of these fights, doesn't have a choice. Well, this game, no fight, and he actually scores a goal. The first rookie to do that for the Rangers since 2011. Big deal for the kid.
Buy or sell 2 Yankees A's this afternoon. It's the first inning. It's the second batter of the game. You need to hear this sound full.
You got anything else to say? You're gone. Okay?
Oh, okay, Hunter. Wow. You know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear. There you go. And now Aaron's saying I didn't say anything.
Oh, man. So Aaron Boone was ejected. You could hear Hunter Wendelstedt say, if you say anything, I'm going to eject you. But look at this video. it really appears, as you saw Boone's lips not moving, that a fan in the front row with that blue shirt who was wearing a different colored shirt when they went back to look at him looks like it was the fan all along. Courtney, what do we have here? Should ejections be reviewable? Should the umpire be held responsible for that?
You got a pretty darn good case for having robo-umps in Major League Baseball because they wouldn't be nearly as thin-skinned as Hunter Wendelstedt was in this situation. You can see very clearly on camera, Aaron Boone acknowledges the warning that he got, and then he doesn't say anything, tries to plead his case to the umpire who says, I don't care who said it, you're gone. That makes no sense. It's completely unjust. He should be able to lobby to get back in this game, but we know that the Umpires Association, Major League Baseball, will not do anything about this. And it's time to bring in people who can literally take emotion out of the game by having robots call these games.
Bring in, the people that aren't people, robots. I see what you're saying. Justin Tinsley, how about you?
The ump knew who he was dealing with. 35 ejections in 7 seasons for Aaron Boone. So shout out to the ump for standing on business. And then as quickly as he stood on business, he stood on too much business. It wasn't even Aaron Boone who said it. So he has a pie in the face moment. But unfortunately, these are the rules. You can't let him back in.
I'm not ready for robo-umps, Court. Like, we're humans. It's a human experience. You get it wrong, sometimes that's part of it. This one, though, should have at least been able to go to review.
I'm going to remind you. I'm going to remind you of that next time you get eliminated first, Monica. George Sedano, how about you?
Look, I get getting things wrong, but this one is pretty damn bad. Like, this should absolutely be reviewable. I mean, what would Hunter Wendelstedt do? Billy Martin was out there kicking dirt at him. That I would understand, getting ejected. By the way, tip to the cap to Boone, being the all-time Yankee manager leader now in ejections, passing one.
Is that
Billy
right?
Martin, and I'm sure.
Wow, I didn't
Baseball
expect to get
Draymond,
that
baby.
piece of information there.
I think I heard George say a banned word. Check the tape.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Monica.
We will check the tape. Let's check the tape.
By the way, tip to the cap to Boone, being the all-time Yankee manager leader now in ejections.
I didn't hear it. You're going the wrong way, Monica. You're going the wrong way.
Oh, no, Monica.
That's what you get.
Wait, you wanted to get to the Garden? Is that what this is about? Unbelievable. Monica, that's nuts. We'll have a great game
What's really
tonight.
going
All
on
right.
here?
Sedano, Cronin, showdown. Next. For Broncos, they unveiled new jerseys. You can tell me how you feel about them. Initial reviews were closer to fashion don't. Maybe they tried to change the conversation when they traded for Zach Wilson. It's official, the former number 2 pick going from the Jets. Fresh start in Denver. George, how do you rate this move?
Tony, I think both of them are pretty bad, but what I would say is with Sean Payton, who made Taysom Hill a viable quarterback for a while, he looks at a guy who was a number 2 overall pick at one point, he figures he'll take a chance. Don't love the Syracuse-looking uniforms for what should be the Orange Crush, though.
Courtney Cronin?
Yeah, they should have made those alternate uniforms, the old school D from 1977, the main uniforms. But I digress. It's a good fresh start for Zach Wilson joining a quarterback room with Ben DiNucci and Jarrett Stidham. He should be able to beat one of them.
You think he's starting in Denver? Or at least in the room, okay.
Look at the options right now, unless they draft someone.
Russell Wilson out. Zach Wilson in. Woodrow Wilson Jr. staying in Denver. We'll move on. Golf Tour's takeover. Nelly Korda, 5 wins in a row. Hadn't been done in the LPGA Tour in 2 decades. She claims the $1.2 million purse, the Chevron Classic. Scotty Scheffler has won 4 in 5 following his Masters with an RBC win. That hadn't been done in 4 decades. And then something just to flag. Not exactly a takeover, but 15-year-old Miles Russell tied for 20th at the Suncoast Classic. Courtney, which stands out most in golf world?
Oh, man, it's Mr. Even Keel himself, Scotty Scheffler, just the 3rd winner since 1985 to win the Masters and then win the following week on tour. His dominance is the reason he's been at number 1 for 49 straight weeks.
Tony, it's definitely Scheffler because, I mean, it's been since Bernhard Langer since we've seen someone win the Masters and then win the next tournament. And he's won, what is it, 16 million in 44 days? I'll go with him.
That's great. My math says 5 in a row is better than 4 of 5.
Yeah, but 4 decades as opposed to 2 decades. Come on.
We'll move on. You guys make the call on this last one. Was it a walk-off home run or fan interference? Came into the bottom of the ninth in a scoreless game, so it was very dramatic. Initially ruled a double, then called an out because of fan interference. Make the call, George.
Terrible call. Should have been a home run. At worst, a ground rule double. Not a banner week or few days for umpires, as we've illustrated today.
Let this be a lesson to everybody who comes to a game. If you're going to bring a glove, you have to allow the outfielder the chance to catch it and not interfere with it.
I'm not with you on this one. I'm born and raised in Jeffrey, man. I'm giving the point to Sedano. That's a home field advantage. That should have been a home run, and we'll give the point to Sedano.
Tony, thanks for the FaceTime. I just want to take a second to talk about how disappointed I am in someone I think is one of the best NBA analysts locally in our sport, in Brian Scalabrine, who, long story short, you can look it up on the internet. He basically suggested Eric Spoelstra called the time.